So now we will be handling this question. Cable sells two tape recorders at the same price. On one, he gains 10%. On the other, he loses 10%. The total gain or loss in the transaction is A 1% gain, B 1% loss, C no loss no gain, and D 2% loss. So these are all known as cost price and selling price problem. These are all known as cost price and selling price problem. Some might call it as a profit and loss problem. So this can be classified as a profit and loss problem or as a cost price selling price problem. So whenever you get problems like this, selling price will be always equal to cost price plus profit in case I make profit. Selling price will be equal to cost price minus loss in case I make loss. So this is the Bible for all your cost price and selling price problems. Nothing more than this. See, if I say I make a profit of 10%, see here what happens is, suppose my cost price is 10, I want to increase it by 1, so my selling price will become 11. So I am making a profit of 1. So when I make profit, my selling price will be more. When I make loss, my selling price will be less. As simple as this. But by default, if I say make a profit of 10%, it is always on cost. If I make a loss of 10%, it is always on cost. Here nothing is given. It says 10% loss, it says 10% gain. So it is always on cost. Supposing I say make a profit of 10% on sale, means that I am comparing the third element, the default is not applicable. When it is nothing mentioned, it is always on cost. Here what I do is, the way of doing it is, selling price will be equal to CP1, where I am going to make a profit of 10% plus 10 by 100 of CP1 plus 10 by 100 of CP1. Now some of you might be having the habit of writing just 10 by 100. See, 10% means it is not just 10 by, it is 10 by 100 of something. It is 10 by 100 of copy of CP1. So this will be equal to 110 by 100 of CP1. This will be equal to 110 by 100 of CP1. Now coming to solving an aptitude, the more you are able to do by mind calculations, you can do it faster and the accuracy level also will be very high. But unless you are clear with the concepts, you cannot do by mind calculations. Some of you might have, the moment you read the question, you are given the answer as no loss, no profit. Because you are not clear with the concept, did by mind calculations, you will say 10, 10, okay, everything is over. So no loss, no profit, one is 11, another is 9. So you will be no loss, no profit. You can't do it like this. You have to be clear with the concepts. Then mind calculations are always there. So here what I do is, I will convert it into a single variable because I am using three variables. One is selling price, other is cost price. One I am going to make profit, cost price two I am going to make loss. So I will have to convert everything into a single variable. So what I do is, I will make the CP1 as 10 by 11 of SP. So this 0, 0 will get cut. This will become 10 by 11 of SP. Now the next selling price is also same. So selling price will be equal to CP2 where I am going to make a profit loss of 10% minus 10 by 100 of CP2, which will be equal to 90 by 100 of CP2, or CP2 will be equal to 10 by 9 of SP. See, I am selling two articles, so I will have to find out the total selling price. Similarly, I have to find out the total cost price of both these articles, CP1 and CP2, find out which is more and analyze whether it is a profit or loss. So here, my total selling price will be 2SP. Total selling price is 2SP and total cost price will be CP1 plus CP2, which will be equal to 10 by 11 of SP plus 10 by 9 of SP. So the LCM is 99. So it will be 90 plus 110, 90 plus 110 of SP, which will be equal to 200 by 99 of SP. See, this is the cost price, this is the selling price. When you see here, the cost price is definitely more than selling price, this is more than 2. So because this is more than 2, my cost price is more than my selling price. When my cost price is more, I am incurring loss. When my cost price is more, I am incurring loss. So cost minus sale will be equal to loss. Cost minus sale will be equal to loss. Now cost is 219 SP minus 2 SP will be equal to 2 by 99 SP. See, the 2 by 99 SP is the loss value and not the loss percentage. See, whenever the values are given, you will have to give the answer in values. But if the values are not given, you cannot give values, you have to give it only in percentage. Here the values are not given, you have to give the answer only in percentage. So by default my loss is always on cost. Similarly my loss percentage always will have to be calculated on cost. So loss percentage will be equal to loss divided by cost into 100. So loss is 2 by 99 SP divided by cost 200 by 99 SP into 100. Now this SP will get cancelled, 999 will get cancelled, 0000 will cancel, 22 will get cancelled. This will be equal to 1% loss. So this is the way of doing it. This is the traditional way of doing it. You will have to know how to do all this. You will have to know how to do all this. But in real time, if you are going to do it like this, what will happen is you will not be in a position to complete your paper. Normally you will be getting 50 questions to be done in 40 minutes time. So you can take only 40 seconds or 50 seconds for each question. If you are going to work out like this, you will be missing out some questions. You should also know how to do it faster. You should also know how to do it faster. Now what happens is, as I told you earlier, the shortcuts are there only if I am clear with the concept. If I am not clear with the concepts, I can't do shortcuts. Now, I don't believe in three things. One is trial and method, because you'll be spending a lot of time doing like trial because you're not clear with the answer. Similarly, I also don't believe in backtracking options, because I'm not sure of the options. I will have to work out all the options. Similarly, even though some of the books have chapter on value substitution, I don't believe in that. But whenever it is a percentage problem, we can always treat the base as 100. Whenever it is a percentage problem, we can always treat the base as 100. See, I am using three variables here: CP1, CP2, and SP. Don't treat all the three variables as 100. Then you are gone. Treat one of the variables as 100 and derive the other two variables. Treat one of the variables as 100 and derive the other two variables. What I do is, I will treat my CP1 as 100. Where I am going to make a profit of 10%. I am going to treat my CP1 as 100, where I am going to make a profit of 10%. So selling price, the advantage of 100 is I will just add 10%, means I will just add 10 rupees. My selling price will become 110. Now I will have to find out the next selling price. Don't reduce 10 from here, because this question says he sells at the same price. So the next selling price is going to be same. Now I will have to find out my cost price 2. Now in this cost price, I am losing 10% and coming here. I am losing 10% and coming in only 90% will remain. This you have to be very clear. So 90% of my cost price 2 is 110, means my cost price 2 will become 10 by 9 of 110 will be equal to 122.22. So my cost price 2 is 122. Cost price 1 is 100. So total cost will be 100 plus 122.22, which will be 222.22. The total selling price is 220. So I am losing 2 rupees 22 paise and a cost of 2 nothing but 1% loss. So here 222.22 is the cost price, 220 is the selling price. There is a loss of 222, which is nothing but 1% loss. 2.22 divided by 222 into 100 will be 1% loss. In real time you have to do it like this, but unless you are clear with the concepts, you can't do it like this. There is also a formula for this. Whenever the selling price is same profit loss percentage, the formula is common loss or profit divided by 10 the whole square, always loss in percentage, always loss in percentage. So here it is 10% means 10 by 10 1% loss. So real time you have to do it like this or like this. So normally I don't rely too much on formula, because I'll always think of the formula, which formula is applicable, which I'm not sure about it. But if I'm clear with the concepts, I am sure you can do it like this. You don't have to recollect your formula. So this is the way of doing all this problem. First is the concept, then get the shortcuts. So next time I'll be going with the next question. And thank you for watching this. If you can pass your comments so that I can improve my performance in the next question. I'll be keeping on adding questions after I have questions. You can become a member of my channel and you'll be getting intimations as soon as I add one more question. Wish you all the best. Do well.